Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Bitcoin Plus Lightning Edition. Continuing the content here on the main stage, we have the creator of my personal favorite Lightning wallet, but just to call it a Lightning wallet would be an understatement. Yeah, this is Evan Kaloudis, the creator of Zeus, and he's here to tell you all about graduated wallets. Please give a very warm welcome to this fine gentleman, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
All right. How's everyone doing today? My name's Evan Kaloudis. I'm the founder of Zeus. We're going to talk about graduated wallets, specifically the graduated wallet in Zeus. We're going to show you how a user can go from being a mortal to an Olympian in Zeus wallet. So this is me, Evan Kaloudis. I'm the founder of Zeus. What's Zeus? Zeus is our flagship self-custodial Lightning and Bitcoin wallet for mobile, Android and iOS. And the project really started as a tool for remote node operators to remotely connect to their nodes, either in the cloud or at home, LND, Core Lightning. In the last couple of years, it's sort of evolved. So now there's an embedded node and wallet in the phone, and just a couple of clicks, you would go from downloading the app on the App Store to sending and receiving your first Lightning payments. But that's not all we do. We've got an LSP, Zeus LSP, that helps you get connected to the Lightning Network with channel leases. And it can be found in a number of products, including our own wallet, BTC Pay, Alby Hub, Lightning Pub. We've got a Lightning address service called Zeus Pay. We launched the first self-custodial Lightning address for mobile wallets in a system called ZapLocker. We've now extended that so that you could use it for a remote node using NWC, as well as with Cashew, which is powering our graduated wallet. And we also have a product called Zeus White, where we do white glove integrations for companies, services, and integrations. So let's get into it. What's a graduated wallet? So we're really excited about this. We think that this is the future of Lightning wallets. In a nutshell, it's a custodial or trusted self-custodial Lightning progression. And you might be on a custodial system like we are with Cashew. You might be on something that might be self-custodial, but has other trust assumptions, like a Spark wallet. I know some other speakers were talking about that. But the question is, why? And from our years of doing the self-custodial wallet, we've learned a couple things. So first off, economic self-custody, it's not free. And being sovereign in Bitcoin has a true cost. So if you were to download the Zeus wallet and go down the self-custodial path, you have to pay a fee to either open up a channel or lease a channel from the LSP. The reality is that some users may not want to pay to try something new. And we're really proud that we've been able to reduce our LSP costs somewhere between 6,000 to 7,000 sats to get started with a channel lease from us. But for most users, they want to be able to get started without having to incur that cost. And secondly, if you're doing an on-chain transaction, which is required for channels and or exit out of an L2, that also has a cost. But that's not it. Lightning is complicated. The onboarding UX could stand to be better. We think that with a graduated wallet, you could have less friction to get started. We could abstract away the channel liquidity knowledge that one might need, trying to figure out what's inbound liquidity, what's outbound. Sort of can be overbearing for a new user that you want to introduce to Bitcoin and get started and get into our economy. And instead of hitting them with this overbearing knowledge, we want them to have that aha Lightning moment as soon as possible. We want them to feel like they feel when they hear that song. We want them to have that instant payment go through, the check mark show up on their screen. We want them to have a Lightning address. We want them to be able to take that Lightning address, put it into something like a Nostr, and start receiving their first sats. And this all comes back to this mantra that we keep repeating. And we want to meet the users where they are, and then we can show them the way. So here's how we sort of outlined it in terms of the different user classes and sort of what the progression of the journey looks like in Zeus. All right, let's get to it. So the progression of users in Zeus. They all have different profiles. So first is the mortal. This user's using the custodial or trusted onboarding. They get a Lightning address. They have the same seed phrase. They could carry it across their progression. There's no channel management. they could have that aha moment we were talking about. And then the wallet sort of prompts the user to upgrade to self-custody as their balance grows. And the user sort of has control in their self-sovereignty journey to upgrade whenever they see fit. From there, you can upgrade to becoming a god. This is the embedded node in the phone. It's real self-custody. You're in control. It's a real Lightning wallet. You're likely leaning on the LSP for channels, and you get to keep the same seed, keep the Lightning address, and go on your journey. And then lastly is the user group we originally built the wallet for, is the Olympians. These are the self-sovereign node runners. Node at home or in the cloud. You have more of the knowledge of the channel liquidity. You're opening channels, closing them, peering to who you see fit. Maybe you're leaning on the LSP, but you don't really need to, and you're managing your own channels. And I wanted to really illustrate this with some images. I was going to go and put it into one of the AI bots and spit some out, but I didn't find the time to do it because I ended up going to Oktoberfest before this. And it was worth it, but I found some really good fallback images here. So I found SpongeBob, had a really good analogy here. I know the Lightning community likes SpongeBob because of Wumbo channels. And I know we got a lot of these self-sovereign Olympian types on the right, shredded SpongeBob in the room. But I just want to emphasize that if we want Lightning to succeed as a payment method, as Bitcoin to succeed as a payment method, we need to sort of cater to these wimpy SpongeBobs over on the left. So what's Cashew? Cashew is what we're using for the mortals, the first step on the graduated journey. And Cashew is a free and open source Chaumian eCash protocol. It's built on Bitcoin. It has good privacy properties. The trade-off is that it's custodial. So there's a risk of the underlying custodian, the mint, of stealing your funds. More info is available on cashew.space. Recommend checking that out and taking a look at the ecosystem that we're proud to be a small part of right now. And why Cashew? Why did we go this route? I think first and foremost is the privacy properties of it. The token system ensures that the mint doesn't know how much any single user holds. The mint can only rug everyone at the same time, not individual users. They could still do like a fractional reserve scheme, but that really targets everyone. The tooling maturity has really evolved over the last few years. There's libraries for JavaScript, for Rust. There's 15 to 20 people working on the tooling and the protocol. We've seen the mint ecosystem boom. There's dozens of mints now. Many of them have been running for several years now. And lastly is functionality. Cashew gives us a lot of stuff we haven't been able to previously do in Zeus. You have those offline, out-of-band transfers where you can exchange tokens without making a Lightning payment. You could send it via a text message. This is really great for privacy because the mints underneath, they don't know when those tokens got passed around to who. And lastly, we have gifting and clawback, which we'll get into a little bit later, but it's functionality that we've wished we had in Zeus for a long time, and now we finally have it. So here's a little look at the graduated wallet experience in Zeus. You can toggle between the eCash and the self-custodial mode on the left, switch between mints, create invoices really quickly on the fly, select your mints. You have mint management, pick whatever mint you want, switch between them, rotate balances, switch between them at any time. And then we have a unified balance here on the third screen, but we still break down all the different layers. So there's Lightning, there's on-chain, and then you see eCash right there. That's the custodial, the clearly marked. There's some stuff we do with the colors to sort of emphasize the risk as that balance is growing. And we also are prodding the user to upgrade to self-custody while being this sort of a Bitcoin Sherpa and giving them this educational component. Learn about self-custody. Why is it important? What's the difference between the eCash setup you started with, and why is it important to actually take control of your own funds and become sovereign? So we're going to talk about a couple of other interesting UI components that we added in our implementation. We've got the portable Lightning address, as I was talking about earlier. When you get started, you have the option of choosing which path you want to go down. Do you want to start just with eCash and have an eCash-powered Lightning address, or do you want to use a self-custodial address? You could take that handle and switch between all the different types, depending on what your needs are. Do you want to prioritize self-custody? Do you want to just accept to Cashew so that it's easier, a better experience for the sender. And at any given point, you can switch. You can go and switch, connect your remote node. You could switch back and forth between these two modes. The portability is very important to us. We also have sweep to self-custody functionality. So instead of us setting thresholds of when we think you should upgrade, we let you determine that yourself. So you can keep an eCash Lightning address while you've still upgraded. And at a certain threshold, you could say, hey, sweep my Cashew balance, let's pull it into my channels. I want to take control once it hits a certain threshold. And then lastly, let's say you don't even want to deal with a Cashew wallet. You're all about self-sovereignty. You can still receive payments via Cashew and then sweep them to your self-custodial wallet on the Cashew token view, which we've highlighted here at the bottom, which I think is really cool. Next up, mint selection. This is the most prickly part of it right now, without a doubt. We don't want to make any, impose our opinions about which mints to use. So right now we're leveraging Nostr to pull down mint attestations from users who have given it the thumbs up, and then they can use bitcoinmints.com to read the reviews from all the users and make a determination themselves. So this is the thing we want to upgrade the most. We want to leverage a social graph on Nostr. We've used Nostr to supercharge our wallet before with stuff like the attestations for self-custodial Lightning address, for our Nostr contact book, and we think that Nostr will be a big point in helping users pick their mints to get started with. And here you could see a little bit of information about the mint, their details, what software they're running, what functionality they support, what their supported nuts, the support contacts, and you can add as many mints as your heart contents. Then we've got this little prodding we do. And at different thresholds, we'll really step up how annoying we are about the message. So at 10,000 sats, we'll be like, you finally got a balance that's big enough to feasibly upgrade and purchase a channel lease from us. And as you have a larger and larger balance, we'll get more annoying about it. Your balance is growing. We want to make sure you don't lose your money. Take a look at this, learn about self-custody, and upgrade with this button. And by the end of it, high balance detected. It's crucial that you upgrade to self-custodial Lightning to secure your funds. So we're really just starting off here. I think there's a lot of fun things we can do with the messaging here. But really a big part of it is becoming more aggressive as your balance grows here and the risk grows. Then we have other cute little components like heating up of the eCash balance. It gets more red, like the stove is heating up, so you don't get burnt. And naturally, as that balance decreases, it cools back off again, which I thought was a cute little touch we added. Gifting. Gifting has been amazing. So many of our users asked us for the ability to do it, but there really wasn't a way for us to do it without becoming a custodian and holding those sats. Now that we could offload it to the mints, you can easily create tokens, pick which mint you want to send it from, add a message, set your amount, create the token. You get a QR or the string, you could share it over text, email, give it to someone in person, and then once it's created, you got this little eCash icon in the wallet header up in the top right, and you could check to see when it's been redeemed. So let's say you give it to a cab driver, and then 3 months go by. You can go check and see if they redeemed it, and if not, well, you can go in, claw it back, and say, hey, instead of losing those sats that he may have lost on whatever piece of paper or medium you gave it to them, and claim it back. And I think this was really important because we heard so many horror stories of people gifting their friends multiple Bitcoins in the early days, and now with Cashew and eCash, that doesn't have to be a reality anymore. We went ahead and we made some cards to test this out in Vegas. Super great UX to just be able to give someone a card that looks cool, give them a QR for the wallet to download, and a QR for the actual funds to redeem on any Cashew-compatible wallet. We're going to do this again. One thing I would emphasize is that those QR codes are dense. Look how many bits of data are in that. Make sure you print that big enough. You really want something that's more akin to like a euro bill than, say, a business card. And then lastly, we got a little demo here of 2 Cashew wallets interacting out of band. On the left is Macadamia wallet, on the right is Zeus. And this is being exchanged over Apple's NFC mode. It's got a really cool effect. And you could see you could accept the string that you transferred over. Zeus, it loads up for a second. You hit import, and suddenly you have that balance, which is super cool. So, what's next for the graduated experience in Zeus? First off, right now it's experimental. You've got to go into your settings and enable it if you have the embedded node. We want to remove that label entirely once we've worked out all the kinks, and we want to implement it into our new onboarding process that we're targeting in version 1.0 of Zeus in Q1 of 2026. In the meantime, I'd really appreciate any who wants to go check it out, give us some feedback, tell us what works, what doesn't. Our focus is going to be on a number of things, including mint discovery and auto selection based on Nostr contacts. And we have a path for users who don't know what any of that is to get onboarded and get a good selection of mints, as well as for more discerning users to go and see what mints their Nostr friends recommended. We're implementing multi-mint sends. That means that users can clear their entire cashew balance in a single transaction, even if they're spread across multiple mints. We're going to have multi-mint support for cashew lightning addresses. We're going to improve our update balance warnings and take into account on-chain rates. And we're generally going to be focusing on the UI and the UX. And lastly, I think most importantly, is the why. Why are we doing this all? And in a nutshell, it's about that squishy SpongeBob from the Mortals page. We need to understand that I think everyone in this room is here for one purpose. We want to see Bitcoin used as everyday payments in the world. And if we're going to do that, we need to cater to those users. And I think we have wallets and applications have a huge role to play. We can sort of act as a Bitcoin Sherpa for these people and help educate them within our app. When I think about the horror scenarios that we had in our community the last couple of years, the biggest thing that comes to mind is the aftermath of what happened with Samurai Wallet and all the wallets that left the US market following that. I remember I was at my family dinner, Thanksgiving. I popped onto Twitter for a quick second, and I see all these wallets, Wallet of Satoshi, are leaving the market. And I could only think of all the new Bitcoin users that got onboarded into that way, and what a nightmare it would be for people to run back to every bartender, or server, or busboy. What are they going to do? Run back and say, hey, you got to go switch your wallets now because this is going to be kaput in the coming days? It's just a nightmare scenario. And I think that Zeus can become the one-stop wallet that you recommend to everyone, from the busboy to the waiter to your grandma. And the wallet is going to act as the Sherpa, take some weight off of you so you don't have to check in them, and so you have peace of mind that the wallet is going to prompt them to upgrade and teach them about self-custody. And after all, we have the incentive to do so too, because with our wallet, the LSP, we have the financial incentive to do that. And it's really a huge part of our ethos. And we think that this model, this graduated wallet model, we might not have all the answers here, but this is going to be the future, and this is what we have to do to bring the rest of the world onto it. And we could do it in a way that's ethical, that has trade-offs, but really just meets the user where they are and shows them the way. And that's it in a nutshell. Here's where you could find us, ZeusLN. You can find us on Twitter and Nostr. We're on Android and iOS. We're really looking forward for you guys to trying out the wallet, giving us more feedback, and helping shape the future of graduated wallets.
Testing. Hey, great presentation, first of all. I love the graduated wallet approach. I think it's desperately needed.
Thank you.
And I very much agree with you on the point of friction of mint discovery and mint selection for the end user is very difficult. There is something that is being worked on called KYM, Know Your Mint. What it is, are you familiar with this?
No.
Okay, so it takes data sources from, are you familiar with the Cashew Mint Auditor?
Yes, the auditor is a fantastic tool,
Yeah.
and we keep our eyes on it.
Exactly. So the auditor is a fantastic tool, and Bitcoin Mints is a fantastic tool to a certain degree. It's easily gameable with Nostr reviews, right? There's nothing stopping someone.
100%.
So the idea for Know Your Mint is that you take these two data sources from the Mint auditor, which is a lot harder to game, a lot harder to fake because it's constantly auditing the Mint's performance and whether or not the melt were successful and kind of tallying that, and then combining it with the relevant information from Bitcoin mints. And if you can take those two, I think, and then present the relevant data to the end user in a way that's very digestible, I think that helps with mint selection. So I'd love to maybe show you it and see if it's something that you'd be interested in.
You love to learn more about KYM. That's why we're here at Bitcoin++. We're here to learn more. And yeah, I totally think the future is going to be a combination of the social graph, leveraging Nostr, and also presenting like pertinent information like the audit data to the user.
100%.
Got one more over here?
So, hi Evan. I've been a user of Zeus since January 2022 to connect my Lightning nodes. And Zeus was always the best remote way to access on mobile, so thank you. You were sharing your vision that Zeus can be the wallet for everybody, the busboy, the bartender, right?
Right.
And the one feature I would need to recommend that would be splicing. When splicing in Zeus?
That's a fantastic question. We already had some interesting discussions about that today. It's definitely a target for us to hit in 2026. So we love splicing. We love all the work that Rusty's done on it, and we want to bring it to Zeus, both for the embedded node as well as the remote nodes that we can, next year.
Because there were some ARC talks here, is ARC something that makes sense in a context for Zeus for the future, or is it something that just has its own applications?
ARC is fascinating. We have our eyes on it. We still think it has a little ways to go, but I think there's a possibility it lands in Zeus as part of the graduated wallet. Don't get me wrong, we're all in on Cashew right now. We love the ecosystem and the privacy properties. I think it could live alongside Cashew eCash in Zeus for sure. All right, thank you everyone. I really appreciate it.
Berlin, the city where walls fell and freedom rose. This storm is more than thunder, it's code, alive, unstoppable. Through rain and shadows we run, forged by fire, forged by freedom. Because now, the current is ours. Bitcoin plus Berlin.